so serious. Take a minute and share with us. It's worth your time. I say what's on my mind. I just wanna make a change in your life. Take my feels with mine too. We can reveal the truth. Conversation with Dr. Creative.
Hello, everyone. We are here for yet another episode of Conversations with Dr. Creative, and I'm happy to be here. I'm feeling so good today. I'm feeling like everything's gonna be all right. I'm feeling really, really good, and I'm feeling like tonight's conversation is gonna be super fun. The individual that we are going to be talking with tonight, you seen earlier, is truly a gem, and I cannot wait to have a conversation with her and just feel the feels. Okay, I love this show because it's one of the shows that I created just to have a space for individuals to come talk about who they truly are, not what we see in the tabloids, not what we see on Instagram, but get deeper into who they are, their story, laugh a little bit, ask some random questions to see where they at in life, all that wonderful stuff. And I think tonight is going to be that kind of night where we just sit down and just have a good old time. But before I bring this individual to the stage, to the screen, I want to give a wonderful intro. I believe the intro is necessary for everybody I bring on this show. But tonight is very special because this person is the bomb. So let me go ahead and give an intro. And she doesn't even know I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. Okay. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the energy is definitely about to shift. Tonight's guest is a certified vocal beast. She's unstoppable, undeniable, and the queen of ad-libbing. A master of the unexpected run and the vocal powerhouse who doesn't just perform, she takes over. Known for her explosive energy, fearless creativity, and those once you hear it, you never forget it vocals. She's become a standout star as a former lead singer for the legendary Ricky Dillard and New G, where she set stages on fire and left crowds breathless. But that was just the beginning. She's since built her own name, her own lane, and her own legacy. From viral moments and unforgettable live performances that drop nothing but powerful, soul-stirring music. She is a person who commands attention. She's bold, brilliant, original, and tonight she's bringing every ounce of that greatness right here for the Conversations with Dr. Creative, myself. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, however you are feeling, I need you to make some type of snaps, some type of likes, whatever it is you're doing for the one, the only, the brilliant, the queen, Lillian Lloyd, everybody.
Wow.
Hi.
I'm looking around waiting on this person to come in the room.
It's you, girl. It's you.
Wow, I'm humbled. I really am.
You are truly amazing. I remember the first time that I've ever was exposed to you. It was One More Chance, and my friend sent me like, this lady acts just like your mom. And I had looked at you, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know there's other people who roll around and do all this. My mom, her name is Eileen Holland. She sings in a quartet group. It's called Testimony. And I grew up in a quartet life. And but she's always been like super extra, super like, I'm going to go in your face and you're going to feel this song. And She's also a recovering addict. So her story is like super beautiful, right? And so when I see, I was like, this lady is just amazing. And it just brought me home. I haven't felt that type of home in a long time. So I want to say, just thank you for representing realness within music, period.
Always.
Your voice, your story. People don't understand when people sing and they're given that testimony part, which people will call the ad libs or they'll call like the ministering part of the song. That is a real life story that you gather from feelings and things you experienced. And so I just want to say thank you for being honest in your gift, and we all love you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the only way I know how to do. And that's when it's real, that's when you feel it.
Yeah.
You can tell. I actually told B. Slade that you had an interview with him. He posted something, and it was a clip of El DeBarge, their song "Who's Holding Donna Now."
Yes.
And I said, this song always makes me cry when I hear it, and that lets me know that the person that wrote it actually lived it.
You can
Yeah,
tell, and you can tell the difference when somebody writes from experience rather than writing
absolutely.
for just the
They're not
sound
just
or
getting
what's
a
out now.
format, just getting a a mold and just pouring sounds into a mold, but they're actually getting a real download
Hmm.
from that space, that creative space, and from
Hmm.
God, because ultimately all music comes from God.
Absolutely.
And it's just a phenomenal experience. I love my job. I love my assignment. I love what I'm called to do.
Mm. And we love it too. So tell me, when everything's done and like you're not performing, there's no lights up, life is just life. Who is Lillian Lloyd? Not the one we see with the beautiful hair and the beat face, honey, but the Lillian Lloyd. Who is she?
I am unbelievably quiet.
I
I
believe it.
am in my kitchen cutting vegetables, and I actually show that part. I show me cooking in my kitchen, moving around the house, listening to vinyl records, and just rearranging things in the house, and just sitting, being quiet. I binge watch my TV shows,
Which
and
ones?
huh?
Which ones?
I watch Law and Order SVU.
Okay.
I love Law and Order, just the regular Law and Order. Um, I watch a lot of the old sitcoms because there's so much sadness in the world. I need something funny to keep me lifted up. So I watch the Golden Girls. I watch the Jeffersons. I watch, Saturday Night
You did.
Live and stuff like that. I watch, Sanford and Son and just any of the old sitcoms. Pretty much, I watch the Jamie Foxx show and just the Wayans brothers and
Good stuff. With good
Martin,
stories, good
Fresh
laughter.
Prince, those type things. I love those. The 70s, between the 70s and the 90s, the sitcoms between the 70s and the 90s were the best. I love Benson. I love Soap.
Mm.
I love I
If you
love
could
all.
bring back one show and have a reunion of one show from your past, and all those shows you said were good, what would that show be?
Interesting because most of these people are dead now.
I know, I know, I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the reboots that they did that I did see is like, oh yeah.
Hmm.
I wasn't
Hmm.
blown away. So
Do you?
I think it's probably best to just leave well enough alone and thank God for streaming services where we can just kind of view those. I love to see like where they are now and
Mm-hmm.
shows like that because I was a big 227 fan. I wanted to be Jack A. Harry, honey. You
Oh,
couldn't
she's
tell me.
bad.
You couldn't tell me
Okay,
I
I
was
know
Jack A.
that's
Harry when I
right.
was a child. My mother used to get so tickled because I could imitate her so well. And
Hmm.
I ran it, one of my classmates was online and
Hmm.
I said, hey, what's going on? I hadn't seen you in years. He said, Sandra Clark, is that
I
you?
know that's right.
I said, you went all the way back.
Okay,
You went
I
back to
love her. I
elementary
think
school.
I used to have a crush on Jack A. Like
Yeah.
from 227. I just thought she was the baddest chick
Yeah,
in the
she
world.
was my idol. I just absolutely adore that woman. And I like even like right now, if I had her entire wardrobe from the show, I would wear those dresses like regularly because
And it would
everything.
still hit.
Yeah, because it's all that stuff's back in style now. The peplum
Yep.
tops, the pencil skirts and the heels and
Hmm.
just the jewelry, all of it. She's just that girl. She's always been that girl.
So where you been? How have you been in today's times? Like I know that things in the world are changing. You said
Mhm.
earlier there are a lot of things going on. We don't have to talk
Yeah.
about politics because I prefer not to. But just like
It's exhausting. I
it
drink
is,
my
that's
water
what it
and I
is.
mind my business. I let people have their fights. I let
Yep.
people have their arguments because ultimately God is in control. And
Hmm.
so God makes it a habit of letting people think they're running things until they're not.
Baby.
Until he gets sick of it and then he just pulls the rug out from under everybody and then his
Hmm.
people always rise to the top. So we always win in the end. So any efforts to destroy God's people is always futile. So it's just a waste of time for people to try to come up with all these. It's like you must really be bad. Black people must really be awesome if we got to go through all this to try to stop you, and you're still not. We still sitting here like this.
Hello. Say it.
He holds the whole. He literally has the whole world in his hands.
Yep.
We sing that as a little song we came up with as children, but people
Hmm.
don't really realize that the earth is the Lord's. This is scripture,
Hello.
and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that do it, all of they. All the
Oh,
days that dwell therein, they belong to God. So there is nothing, there is no laws that can be passed. There's no rules that can be made. There are no ordinances that can be put in place that can stop a child of God, because God will shut all that mess down.
I feel like you've experienced that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. People, people think, I have a very interesting story, because there are people that think that because they think they're better than you, that they're going to just automatically be given an opportunity to do something. When God has stamped his approval on your forehead and said, mine, now,
Okay.
move, go forward, yours, take your spot. When he says that, when he declares it's time, oh,
Yeah.
guess what?
It's time.
You
Can
can
nobody
go,
stop it? I know.
you can make posts, you can make blogs, you can do all of those things. And one thing I'm learning in this season is that
Mm.
people will, when they are jealous, and that spirit of jealousy is huge. That is a huge spirit. It's a very mean and aggressive, angry spirit. It's cruel as the grave. The Bible says it's cruel as the grave. When you deal with a person that has a jealous spirit, they can start off admiring you, and their admiration is misplaced, and it becomes aggressive.
Yep.
And suddenly I went from being a fan to being a fiend.
Mm.
I went from being your friend to being your foe. Somehow or another, your success makes me feel inferior, and I see you as a threat when you used to be my homie.
Hmm.
You can lay up in the bed
And
with somebody and eat and watch TV, kiss them all in the mouth, be
yep.
intimate with them, be in relationship with them, marry them,
Yep.
not realizing that your spouse is plotting against you. Isn't that something?
Oh, but it's reality, and it
It is
happens way
reality.
too often.
I lived it. I lived it. And even if they don't do it publicly, they will say little things to, I'm a singer. So every time I accomplish something, you got to go and brag about how you love Shirley Caesar's new album, or I love uh Cindy Snow's new album. Oh, what, Cindy Snow's the baddest praise and worship. Now you want to hear somebody sing some gospel? You go get Chrissy Snow's new
But
album.
you're the one that they're supposed to be lifting up.
I'm saying,
Like that's your
and so am
partner.
I.
That's
David Bowie,
crazy.
like what do you want from me?
What do you
And
want
so
from me?
yeah, so it's just it's crazy, and you just sit there and go, really?
But
You
how
don't?
long can you go like that forever? You can't go like that forever, right?
Yeah. And so the beautiful thing is God gives you that reassurance that while he's sitting there making fun, while he's sitting there cracking jokes, you're boarding your next flight. You're on to your next assignment. Your
But
very
you're
existence irritates him. It literally irritates him. So let him sit in that. If that's what he needs in order to feel better about himself, to insult his own wife, if you need to say cruel things personally about my body, about my
mm,
looks, if
mm.
that's what you need to feel better about yourself, then go ahead. Go on. Guess what? Nothing stopped. I've never, as many flights as I have been on, I have never gotten to the gate and been stopped by a gate agent that said, you know what, 15 people talked about you online today. I'm sorry, we're not going to allow you to board. I'm sorry, you just can't join us today. You're going to have to find another way to get to Chicago. You're going to have to find another way to
Okay.
get to Detroit, because these flights are only for people that everybody likes. Too many people dislike you, and I'm sorry, we're going to have to ask you to step to the side, or you're going to have to ride on the wing. You can't fly inside the plane with us. You have to sit on the wing to get to your destination, because a lot of people don't like you.
I just find those situations very weird. I've learned what I've asked for always in those situations, and it even comes like with what I do for work, right? People that I would think is close to me, and when something happens for them, I'm like, yes, I'm so happy for you. Like, congratulations on the new job or the promotion, blah blah blah.
And it doesn't
And then
take anything away from you for them to be successful. You're supposed to be happy for your friends.
I'm me. I have my own talents, my own calling. I don't care if we even do the same thing. Congratulations. You can't do it like I can, and I can't do it like you.
There's room for all of us.
And
And
there is, but people try to make you think that there isn't, though. That's the sad
yeah,
part, right?
you're
Especially
gonna
when you
hurry up.
work in
There's only a short
entertainment,
window of time. Ain't no window of nothing. I don't know who made up this window
because
of
you
time.
don't control it.
When I was a little girl, when I heard Ricky Dillard sing for the first time, I said, I'm going to sing with him one day. I was 12 or 13 years old.
Wow.
I'm going to sing with him one day. He's going to hear me and it's going to be a rap. I wasn't
Hmm.
even vocally prepared for what Ricky was doing on that stage back then. But in my mind, I knew and I just latched on to that knowing.
Mm.
I connected to that knowing that I had up here and I had in here. And I studied his every move. I studied every song. I knew all the parts. I knew all the movements. Whenever somebody was singing his stuff wrong, I'm like, no, that's not it. It's this, da, 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 da. It's not
Okay.
that, this, and so I got irritated with my youth choir. I got irritated with the other choirs I was, singing with because I'm like, you guys aren't doing it right. Ricky Dillard does it this way. I made him the template.
Yeah,
I
but
made
he is.
for choir vocals and for background singers, for groups, Thomas Whitfield Company and the
Yeah.
Hawkins family. They are the template for background vocals for me. And of course, Luther Vandross's background, because baby, they are. What?
What'd you think about the documentary?
I didn't get to watch it all because I was actually on tour when it came out. And then as soon as I got home, like I was home like less than 24 hours and I had to go right back here because I was over in Germany. When I got back from Germany, I had to come in the house, put my suitcases down, change stuff out, and walk right back out. So I
Lillian,
did
you gotta watch the documentary.
gotta
Like,
finish. I started watching it and it was just awesome. Just
yeah,
wow. Just
you
wow.
learn so much. All right, I'm gonna check in with you later about that one because that
Don't make me watch that tonight so we can have
you
that.
have to. It was so good. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, so all right. So, what's something that people don't know about you that you wish that they did?
I wish people knew that my heart is pure toward them.
Mm,
That when I say something, even though I get very passionate, my mother, I talk like my mom a lot of times,
mm,
especially if I'm very adamant about something. I That is never just based on emotion. It's based on understanding. And sometimes you can be in the dark about something and you're content to be in the dark. And so in an attempt to bring you into the light or bring you into a different understanding, because I'm not a know-it-all. I don't think I know everything, but I do know what I know.
okay.
And I don't let people spit on my experience. I got over 30 years in this game, so I know what I know. And when I'm trying to share something with you, especially when it's people are not who you think they are,
Mm,
when I'm telling you that people's praise is not always sincere, that you can't just fall apart and start treating your real friends funny because two or three new people in your life are telling you you're dope, that kind of stuff, that weirdo energy. When I come against that, people try to label me as being mean. You don't know me from a box of grits if you think I'm mean. I'm too nice. That's my biggest problem. I am
I
too nice. I let
I think that
people.
we live in a world of sensitive, insert whatever word you want to people. People are very sensitive and nitpicky, and anything is going to affect them. So, I come from a really rough to tough family. We take it like it is. We're very sarcastic,
Mhm,
and we do talk with passion. And I get that same thing. So,
yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten that from you. Just from seeing you online. I'm friends with Charles Dove. He did your hair
My
for your
baby.
photo.
I
Okay,
just spoke with him because I'm getting ready for my 49th birthday celebration. And so I'm
I
going
seen
to.
the flyer.
Yes, I'm going to Macon, Georgia, and he's actually living in Atlanta now, so he's going to
Exactly.
do my hair and makeup and some of the other
What's the
artists.
date for that again?
June 7th. Doors
Okay.
open at 7:30.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
I'm trying. I'm trying out here. Yeah, and when I talked to him, I seen he was doing your hair. I was like, bro, how was he? Was like, yo, she's everything.
He's
Super
everything.
funny, super
It's,
kind.
I
Like,
just latched on to him immediately. The very first time he serviced me, I was just like,
he's good, isn't he?
first of all, he's beautiful. He is absolutely gorgeous. And so he's so when somebody's doing your makeup and they're beautiful and they smell
Hello.
and they got the right touch.
Yep.
Because I prefer, and I have some great female stylists, don't get me wrong, but I just prefer a man's touch when it comes
Ladies
down
do.
to doing my hair and makeup because men know what men want to see.
Absolutely.
And so he just has a way of contouring me and just enhancing my best features. He hides all my flaws well because I got dark circles.
I met him through Stout.
Yeah,
He just blows my
yeah.
mind.
Stout's my girl. Now
He
we just
blows
did
my
a show
mind.
with Miss Stout, baby. Let me tell you something about Miss Stout.
Oh no. You ain't gotta tell me.
You
I know. I know. I used to work with the girl. She's amazing.
So
One of the
she and I
baddest.
are talking about doing a show together, the two of us, with my two guitarists, Skinny Rogers and the Black rock star Jamil Davis. So we all four of us on stage, that's gonna be real dumb.
I
That's
won't
gonna
be able
be
to take
real
it, bro.
dumb.
I won't be
That's
able to take it. It's now that's music. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Think about it, y'all. I know y'all
live band,
usually
live
see,
horns, everything. We're gonna do it all.
yes, y'all usually see Lillian like singing like ad libs and things like that. But she started off doing like regular solos and like or slower songs actually.
Yeah,
And then she got really popular for the ad libs on the shout songs. But
yeah.
Lillian sings her booty off.
Yeah.
Like
It's
for
a
real, for real.
that's the downside of having a hit song.
Yeah.
Because when you go, especially now with people going viral, when you go viral for doing one thing, then people want to lock you into that thing and you just don't get an opportunity, especially when you don't have the financial backing, or you don't
Mhm.
have a machine to back your play. Then
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to say, hey, I have this too. No, no, give us more of that. Hey,
Yeah.
we have bananas and apples, but your peaches are the best. More peaches, please. You're like, okay, here's the peach. Oh, more peaches. And so, hey, but those peaches will be great. But some of these strawberries, no, no strawberries. We don't want any strawberries. And so then you have to kind of chop the strawberries up real fine and mix them
Yep.
in with the peaches. And they go, oh, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's got strawberries in it, the ones you didn't want.
Exactly.
Oh, well, let's see what else you got then. So
But you doing that.
it takes those moments. It takes those moments.
Yeah.
So I really feel good. We just did a recording session, Stout and myself and Travis Malloy, our chief apostle Corey Henry. I'm such a fan.
The best.
And
He's the best.
Stout is no good. We were at the hotel. We were leaving the restaurant right before we checked into the hotel on Saturday.
Hmm.
And when I said, now I'm telling you guys right now, when Corey Henry walks in that room, I am going to faint. I'm letting you
I
know.
know that's right.
I'm gonna fan the heck out. So why did she call him, FaceTime him? Because he lives in LA. So she FaceTime him. She said, hey, Lil, somebody wants to speak to you. I'm like, oh, okay. She turns the phone around and it's him. I'm like, no, don't let him see me. Because my makeup wasn't done. I'm like, no.
Girl, please. That's the moment to talk to your boy.
No, no way. I'm like, let me compose myself. I have to prepare for situations like that. And I don't fan out over people very often. I meet all
Hmm.
kinds of celebrities. And so, is that a baby? Let me see that baby.
Yeah, she's all. Whenever I'm
Hi,
on,
baby, baby.
whenever I'm on, she's trying to get on camera.
Hi,
Say hi to Miss Lillian, not me.
hi, baby. My dog used to do that too. Whenever if I was on live talking, he would come sit at
Hmm.
my feet and start barking until I pick him up and put him in my
That's
lap.
crazy.
So many old lives with him. He passed away last January.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that. I lost a cat last year too. I didn't know it was like. I didn't know it was a real like feeling.
It's like
Like
there was the neurologist I believe said that they did a study and it was talking about the grief over a pet is identical. The brain activity is the same as losing a child.
I lost all energy in my body when I walked in, and I fell. I didn't even. It was like 2 weeks of just like I didn't want to be bothered. Didn't want to talk to nobody. I'm so sorry you lost your baby.
That's my little son. He was a Pomeranian, so he's just a little fur ball with feet
Hmm.
and a face, and he was so darn cute. He was so cute that you could be like if he made a poopy on the floor, I would just say, "Thank you, Benny. Mommy fix it." Because what else are you gonna do for this guy?
Right, you can't do nothing to him.
You
So
can't do
tiny.
anything to him. The only time I got mad at him was I took him out one day and I wasn't dressed properly. I just had on like my house coat and I just, kind of throw my robe on to go
Hmm.
out in one of those little short ones at that. And I
Okay.
put it on just to let him out in the front. And he went potty And then I looked away, and next thing I know, this nut pew, took off around the building. It's my old condo. He took off the
No.
long way around the building and ran all the way around. So I'm running, trying to catch up with this clown. And he is just off running like an idiot. I'm like,
That's
you
this one.
dummy. You dummy.
That's this one.
When I got him, I'm like, I will knock your head off.
Okay. Because it scares you, like you don't know what you where you going.
Somebody sees him. I don't want nobody to grab him thinking that I abandoned him or anything like that. But I don't know what made him do that day. Because he's so clingy. He never, if you say Benny, he'll stop right immediately. But honey, he took off. He fixed me that day, honey. Fixed me.
Would you ever get any more? Would you ever get another cat dog?
I would love to get. I actually want a Maine Coon cat too.
Those are so beautiful.
I love, and they're so cute when they're babies.
I know.
Ooh, they're so cute. But most of my friends are either frightened of cats or they're allergic to cats. Now I have a cat allergy myself, but I'll take me some Zyzol or something and deal with it.
Me too.
I love cats. I think they're beautiful. So
They're so cute.
maybe
And they're easy to
eventually,
you can travel with a cat. Like the cat can stay home for a
Mhm.
couple of days and be fine.
Yeah,
Unlike like a dog, you got to find a babysitter.
yeah, exactly. Now with Benny, I could leave because he was older, so I could leave him at home for maybe about a day, day and a half at best.
Mhm.
Make sure I put enough food down for him, and he
Right.
was good to go. And I would just if I was just gonna be gone for a few hours, I would just put him in my bathroom so he had plenty of room to move around. I have his bowl and everything, and he has a moppable surface if he has to go pot
Right.
on my carpet.
I
But
love.
if I was gonna be gone for longer than a day, then I would put him in the bedroom and just put his food and stuff in the bathroom. But anything
Yeah.
over a day or so, I would have to, get somebody to keep him. So he had the best caregivers. They would keep him for weeks and months at a time because if I was on tour, I was in
Yeah.
Germany for 2 months at a time, so they had to keep him. And his former caregiver, she called me on my off day, and because this was around the Christmas holiday, and he was already crying. I said, "What's?" Because we knew he was going to die. He had developed a tumor on his right side. It was about the size of an orange,
Mm.
and of course on a Pomeranian. And once his hair was all falling out and shaved off, he looks like a chihuahua at that point.
Yeah.
He has this huge mass on his side, but they couldn't do anything because he had a bad heart. So he wouldn't have survived the anesthesia. So we just had to let it keep growing and getting bigger and bigger. And then until he just eventually couldn't do it anymore. And she was like, I don't think he's gonna make it. I don't think he's gonna make it. And I'm like, oh God. So I just said, okay, call the hospital, make the arrangements, let me know. And I sent her the money. And then she FaceTimed me from the office and they put him to sleep right in front of me on the phone.
Whew.
Benny! I'm sorry, puppy. Mommy, sorry. I'm sorry, baby. Mommy didn't give you because I was always afraid that when I go for long periods of time, he thought I'd given him away.
Right.
Especially
Right.
with my caregivers because they're very territorial, especially the one. She's very territorial about him. So she would like I gotta ask her permission for what I'm do my own dog.
This is my dog. Okay.
He's mine. I don't have to run it by you. So that was always weird. So
Well, at least she loved the dog.
huh?
So at least she loved the dog,
Oh yeah, she was nuts. Like for real.
So question for you.
Yes.
How do you take care of yourself, like your wellness, your mind, your mentally, personally, like how do you take care of yourself?
Nightly candlelit bubble baths.
I know
I
that's
spend time in my word. I listen to music. I listen to all genres of music. You might come in here and hear Frank Sinatra. You might hear
Mhm.
Sarah Vaughan. You might hear the Manhattan Transfer. You might hear the Gap Band. You will definitely hear Parliament Funkadelic because that is my favorite band of
I
all time.
know that's right.
You're going to hear Prince. You're going to hear Thomas Whitfield. So I have crates and crates of vinyl records around here, and that's what I do. I put on my vinyls. I'll light some candles. I get some incense burning, and I just create my vibe, and that's what I do. I get in the kitchen and I cook. I chop fruit, and I roast vegetables and cook food.
who kind of like raised you musically? Like, who did you listen to was like, I want this, or I can't live a day without listening to this person? Who was that person for you, or people?
Female vocalist was Shaka Khan. And so this recording was just crazy because we kind of did we visited Through the Fire by Shaka Khan. So for me to be able to hit her high notes and then and actually go above it a little bit because it was in a different key.
Uh-huh. No, that's okay. Still got okay, yeah. Because it's weird because you're an alto, but you be singing in the soprano raptors. I never understood that, but it's in my business. But
Right.
you do, and I just don't get it. But it's in my business.
I always tell I'm a new G alto, so we're built different.
Right, because he will use the ladies who are sopranos in his alto section to really make it hit, right?
Yeah, one day we were doing All of My Help. He says, "You know what, Lillian? I didn't realize that song was that high. Were you there when we recorded it? Were you there when
Okay.
we taught us the song?" He's got it in control. All of my help. You didn't know that was high?
That's the song I can't sing along with. I be singing like this.
That's the alto part. Whose altos are way up there? All of my help is
Sopranos.
part.
Sopranos. And in those moments at church,
even on the Victory, if you got it, I got it. You know that's the tenor singing that, right?
Oh yes.
The tenor one in the studio recorded that.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Flat-footed. I've got the footage. I recorded. I said, because these people are not going to believe me. That was Tony Coleman. That was Todd Carey. That was Carlos. That was who else was in the studio that night? But it was tenors. Larry Jones. That was them tenors singing that.
Oh no.
And they weren't. I mean, they weren't. They were just standing there with hands in their. Tony Coleman has hands in his pocket and just kind of rocking from side to side with his headphones on his ear. Like, I got it. One voice. I said, this is stupid.
Those are good. That's because they're real singers. Okay.
Ricky said, I can't stand y'all.
Okay. And those moments when I used to be at church and like songs would get like extra high, I'd be on that. Thank you, God. Hallelujah.
Right.
I'll stop. You're not getting me to all that high. That is crazy.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay, so you're into all kinds of music. You relax a little bit, you know, you do your little bath thing, which I need to do better at.
Yeah.
Because that is a real relaxing moment.
Yeah, because most people have power to get clean. They're not thinking about the relaxation and the therapeutic side of it. I go for long walks. I go for very long walks. I'll walk 5 miles at night. I'll walk out here at 9:30 at night and go for a 5-mile walk.
Well, you're looking good. Them walks is walking.
Thank you. I'm actually planning, and I don't know how I'm going to do it now because now it's starting to get hot. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it now because the weather has hit that mark. It's already 90 degrees today. And so it's only going to it's downhill from here. Well, uphill now because it will get as high as 120. We had our hottest summer.
Yeah, you're on the West Coast. That's why it's extra hot out there.
And I'm in the desert. So it gets brutally. Our summers are brutal. They are brutal. So I jumped from Chicago to
now, where are you originally from? Like, where was you born and raised?
I'm originally from Georgia. My parents are from Michigan. When they got married, they moved to Macon, Georgia. Well, they moved to Waynesboro first.
Okay.
And then Waynesboro is just outside of Augusta. Mm-hmm. And they lived there for a little while. My dad pastored a church there. And then they moved to Macon. They bought a house in Macon, Georgia. So Macon's about an hour from Atlanta. That's when I'm actually having my party.
Right.
So when I turned 17, I moved back to their hometown of Port Huron, Michigan, which is just outside of Detroit. And I lived there, and then I moved back. I moved to Atlanta in 97 and joined Citadel of Hope and with Nathan Simmons and joined B. Chase Williams and Shabbat. And then when Ricky came along in 2004 and brought me on to New G, I moved to Chicago. And then I moved back to Detroit for a while, for about maybe 4 years, and then I moved back to Chicago and stayed there until I moved here.
I know that's right.
Yep.
I know that's right. That's a dope story. Dope story. Question. You know, I love questions because my brain be thinking.
That's what we're here for.
Okay. So What would be your definition of love? And I ask this question because I feel like everybody has a different definition. And I know that the Webster Dictionary just does not do it. And there is so many different meanings of the word love. And so I love to ask people, what is your definition of love?
My definition of love is God.
Mm,
God is love. You can't say that you love me, but you're doing things to me that you wouldn't do to God.
mm,
You wouldn't do to your sister, or you wouldn't do to yourself. You
mhm.
can't say you love me and you expect me to accept treatment that you wouldn't accept for yourself. God, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So you have to read it slow and let it sink in. I'm going to give you the very best gift I have, that whosoever, any soever, every soever, whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Mhm.
Jesus came to die for the sins of the whole world. That's
For
what
everybody.
everybody, black,
Mhm.
white, Asian, whoever,
Yep.
gay, straight, trans, undecided, everybody is
Everybody.
included in the love of God.
Ah, hmm.
Jesus
Yes.
went to Calvary for the sins of the whole world. Nobody gets to deem themselves more worthy of his love than somebody else.
Oh, but they do.
Through grace are ye saved. Through
Mm.
faith. It is a gift of love. It's a gift of God. It's not of you. There's nothing you can do to earn grace. You can't earn his love. He gave it to you. When a man asked me, why do you love me? I said, because I want to,
Oh,
and because you need it. You need love. You need to be told that you're wonderful. You need to be cared for. You need hot meals. You need affection. You need intimacy. You need a safe place to run home to when the world is knocking you up one side and down the other side of your head.
absolutely.
That's why I love you, because I want to. I choose to. I don't fall in love. I place my love.
Mm.
If you mishandle it, I will replace it.
You got to go.
And do you
Oh
got it.
God. So
And I
when
will
you're
go
looking for
on
someone,
loving you. I will
what you
go
say?
on loving you, but I will have to reserve that love for my own personal sake. I love, it feels good to love somebody. The songwriter says it feels good loving somebody when somebody loves you back. But I love you even when you don't love me back, because I choose to love you. I don't
Mm.
have to fool with you, but I still love you.
That's real love. I believe love is a very powerful word. Do
That's
you
why
think
people say,
that?
when people say, I hear these bloggers all the time say, it takes more than love to make a marriage. It takes commitment. It takes this. I
But
said,
it
you do
covers.
realize that all of those are attributes of love.
Yeah, it covers. That covers everything.
Love conquers all, not some,
Yeah.
but all.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
covers a multitude of sin. It's just,
What would you tell these young little chicks out here in these streets that be talking about, he needs to have money, he needs to have da 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 da. Like if he ain't got this, I ain't got the time. We're living in that culture of like, what can you do for me? Because the more you can do for me is I'm going to show you what I can do for you. What would you say?
that love is not transactional.
Hello.
And a man can give you all of his earthly possessions and not give a darn about you. So my word to them is keep living. If you think that, because what I thought I needed at 20 is not what I need at 49. What I need,
Baby.
what I need right now is for some. I got a bass guitar amp over here in this corner. I need somebody to remove that and put it back in the back. See, that's what I need now. That's what's important to me now. When there's something on a high shelf, I need somebody to reach up there and get it. When my hedges need to be trimmed. I got some limbs growing over the top of my house, and I need that trim. Get out there with that blade, the long blade that you turn it on, and
Uh-huh.
I need one of them.
And trim those. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Trim those. When
Mm-hmm.
when the when the when things go wrong in the house, when things go bump in the night, I need somebody to go check on that. When I get home with all of my suitcases, I need somebody sitting out there waiting for me to pick my bags up and put them in the truck and put me in the truck and carry me home and say, baby, don't worry about it. I got you, mama.
Are you experiencing that now?
Am I experiencing it now? I'm in here by myself.
Bye.
Is anybody Is anybody back there? I'm at the crib, baby. And even I always give my husband, I give my ex-husband credit because all of our days were not bad days. Most of them were, but all of them weren't. And he was good at that. He'd come downstairs to get my suitcases, and I would come home some days, baby. He have a whole spread cook because he could cook his butt off. And so he would cook and have my bath water ready and have my nose ready, and everything else is ready. Praise the Lord.
Are you
That wasn't
open?
a problem. It was just, huh?
Are you open
Open for what?
to receiving whatever God has for you?
Absolutely. Yes. God.
Bye. What?
I don't get when females. I heard this African girl say something so funny. She said, talking about people talking about they don't want to be loved, they don't want to love again because they will be hurt. She said, no, I'm going to keep trying. I will heal in heaven. Release me. Release me. I'm never giving up on love. You hurt my feelings, I will move on. I will get another. I will heal in heaven. Release me. Yeah, so I will be loving until I die.
I know that's right.
And if it doesn't work with you, it's gonna work with somebody. And if it don't work with nobody, I'm gonna do it or die trying.
Yeah,
because
I love that.
I'm the one that loves you.
Yeah.
I am indeed the one that loves you, and I enjoy loving. I love the doingness of love. I love the action of love. I love the emotion of love. I love the passion of love. And even this guy, this name that I have hanging around my neck is Vali. Vali was my best friend in this world. And he passed away in 2021. He had a heart attack in his sleep and died at 2 months after his 50th birthday. And my relationship with him taught me what real love was about. Outside of my relationship with God, my spiritual understanding of love, but this was my natural understanding of love, and that's why I always wear his name around my neck. It keeps me ever mindful of how it should begin and how it should end. When I first met him, I had heard about him. I'd heard him play because he played bass for Aretha Franklin and a lot of other artists. He played for Diddy back in the heyday of Bad Boy. He was just phenomenal. But at any rate, I'd heard all this talk about this guy, Vali Craig from Detroit. But I heard about him in 94 for the first time. In 97, I actually got a chance to meet him. He had come to, I was with B Chase. He had come to our hotel, and he was, talking to one of the singers, this guy named John that used to sing with G. He and John were standing in my doorway talking, and me and my roommate, we were in the bed, and I'm like, hey, y'all got to either come in or go out, because if B Chase walks down the hall, because he's my dad. So if he comes down this hall and see these guys standing in my doorway, he's gonna have a fit. So he's standing there with his bass on his back, and John was standing. I said, you guys just come on in the room and close the door. And I said, and who are you? He said, oh, my bad, I'm Vali. And I said, you Vali Craig? He said, he's looking like, yeah. I jump up and I start screaming. Ah! I'm jumping up and down on the bed, and I jumped in his arms and wrapped my arms and legs around him. And I said, I love you. He said, I love you too. And we have been inseparable since then.
That's beautiful.
From that, our friendship started with I love you. 2 days before he died, I texted him. I said, I love you with every beat of my heart. He said, you're my heart. I said, I mean it. I love you forever. 2 days later, I got the phone call that he didn't wake up. He didn't wake up that morning. His mother found him. She said when she went to touch him, she thought he had just fallen asleep with his clothes on, had his earbuds still in. And she said she went to touch him and he was ice cold, which means he probably died over in the night. And see,
I'm sorry to hear that.
she lost her husband in similar fashion. And so when you have that experience as a mother, it changes you.
Yeah.
Changes you. And so to lose him, he told me it was going to happen that way because he had a bad heart. And he told me when we first, start getting to know each other, it's like, I want you to know I have a bad heart. We have a congenital heart defect that runs in my family. And you could wake up in the morning and I'll be gone. I'm like, you gonna be all right. I brushed it off. He said, no, you need to know that tomorrow when you wake up, I could be gone. Because it just happens. There's not gonna be a warning, ain't gonna be no build up to it. I'm just gonna go. So that was scary. But I'm like, but I love you. You're like the coolest dude I've ever met in my life. You ain't going, you're not leaving me. And so 23 years passed. Everything's going fine. I said, we're going to be all right. Ciao, bye. That joker went to bed and left me. Went right to Jesus' house.
Wow.
So
I'm sorry for your death, man.
Yeah. So that
a lot.
And even in death, I honor him. I honor our friendship.
Yep.
I love, and see, the thing is, there's a difference between friendship and covenant. Friendship dies after death. Covenant continues even after death. Covenant says, who else is left from the house? Who else is left from the Craig family? I love your mama. I love your children. I love your cousins. I love you. Anytime they call, if they got something at Craig Memorial and they need me, they call me. I'm going to be there. If it's within my power, I'm going to be there. Why? Because my love for you was a covenant relationship. So I'm in covenant with your family until I die. And it's even deeper than that because my love for you is known by my children. So if you need something from them, they have to carry that out.
Absolutely.
And continue that covenant because of my love for them, their love for me. They have to love they can't just love me. They got to love everything I love.
That's beautiful.
You can't get on that love topic with me, baby, because we'll be here all night.
I love it. I hope that people are listening because it's so many different dimensions of love, but the kind of love that you should be inspiring to have and wanting to have has nothing to do with finances. It has to do with something way deeper than that. You know what I mean? And it has to be something like you said.
Deeper than looks, way deeper than aesthetics. Because
way deeper. And when you find it, hold on to it and treat it right.
I look at my
brother.
I'm
going to ask you, I'm going to change the topic a little bit and change it up a little bit. If we were to do this together and we were to create a female group of 4 people, any genre, but they got to be alive today because we want this to actually one day happen. Who would that female group be?
People that are alive today?
Today. Stop. It could be anybody from back in the day. Because I heard you on your little Instagram talking about oh, hallelujah, we come to worship you. Yeah. Those new singers, the CC. So I get it, but I'm asking.
You know what? To be fair, and I love CCM. I love real CCM. I love Larnell Harris and Wintley Phipps and
the good stuff.
Sandy Patty and the Imperials and the Gaither Vocal. But I love that CCM. I don't love this new stuff.
Okay.
A lot. I don't love a lot of it. There's some of it that I actually do like, but a lot of it just sounds like more of the same. I can take 3 songs from the top 10 and put them on one record, and it all sounds like the same artist. That's what I don't like.
It's the same.
Yeah. So it's like you can't listen to Twinkie Clark and think that you're listening to Vanessa Bell. They sound nothing alike.
Nope.
You're not going to turn on the radio and hear Tremaine Hawkins and say, oh, I thought that was Yolanda Adams. No, you ain't thought that because they don't sound anything alike.
There's originality, honey. They sound like themselves. They wasn't trying to do the formula. But anyway.
But nowadays, you can't tell one of these chicks from the other. You don't know whose voice is whose because there's nothing unique. There's no uniqueness,
especially in R&B.
Yeah, it's more prevalent in R&B now.
It's so sad.
It's
I
very
miss
trash. Most of that.
Only back in the day, the only thing that I was confused about was in that Biggie Smalls video where they had Faith Evans and Mary J. Blige in the same video, and they would shoot, go from different, both of them in that video, one much that song, but their voices were different, but they kind of looked the same a little bit when I was younger, but I never was confused about people's voices because you knew who you was going to get. And if you didn't know what their voice was, you knew by the intro what the song was going to be because the music was formatted different.
So 4 girls from today.
Yes.
I would say Fantasia.
Oof.
LaJune Thompson. You know who LaJune is?
Yes, I do actually. Bomb.
LaJune and this girl named Yale Hilton. Do you know her? Yale Hilton is from the Carolinas.
Okay.
She's
amazing. Yeah, your face says it all. It says,
yeah. Chicks don't make me cry very often, but when she sings, she brings tears to my eyes. So that she gets it. She gets me. She gets me.
I'm going to be looking her up right after this.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you somebody else that got me together. Her name is Imani Rayford. You ever heard of Imani Rayford?
No, put me on. Put me on. The lip, please stop with the lip. In the arm. The lip, like you're in a corner somewhere.
And baby, her husband plays that bass. He's like, he's on there rocking. I'm like, yes,
we love a good bass player, okay?
So yeah, but Fantasia and yeah, whoever I just said. And so I put Shaka Khan in that because she's my fave, so I put her in the mix.
That's gonna be a dope group. And then I have one more question, and then we'll wrap it on up. If me and you were asked to put together a tribute choir of R&B singers, 4 in each vocal part, who are we picking to be in that? I know for sure I want Kelly Price in that soprano section.
Period.
And a Tamar.
Period.
Who else would you add up in that soprano?
In the soprano section, I don't know for sopranos. For sopranos. Like current singers, I don't really know.
They don't have to be current, but just an R&B singer. So who would you think be able to hold down that soprano? Those in that section.
Yeah, Shaka definitely.
Yep, Shaka. So she has Shaka.
She has a big brassy, and I really wouldn't put Kelly in soprano. I'll put Kelly on alto.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because see, I'm thinking with my new G ears now, so I'm looking at.
Okay.
You got to be that range. Got to be there.
Able to reach. Okay.
I would put Kiki Wyatt in that soprano section.
Heck yes. And she's gonna scream it out. She's gonna scream it out.
And you know what? The other side of that is I don't really listen to a lot of female vocalists, so I always get stuff ask me about girls. Okay. So you pick the sopranos and the altos. I pick the tenors.
All right, so boom. So would you think go in soprano? I'm gonna do alto. So we're gonna put Fantasia in that alto because I need that grit.
Yeah.
R&B. Ooh.
Right.
Stop. I'm gonna get somebody.
Look,
you're making me think too hard. All right, so I know Fantasia Day. She's gonna be on the front line. She's gonna be on the mic. I'm gonna have Ari Lennox in that alto section too, because if you're thinking like a new G mine, she can get up there, and she can scream. She has that 1, 2, 3. I'm probably gonna put Mary because I feel like you're gonna need like a raspy, like rough voice, and someone who's gonna be able to give you like that full like that. I think she could be able to pull that off.
Yeah. I would go Faith over Mary though.
Put Faith in. Okay, so Faith is there. So we move Faith out. Is Auntie Patty an alto or is she a soprano?
I think now she's an alto. Her range isn't where it used to be. But I mean, she's 80 years old.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you who else needs to be in that alto section. Gladys Knight.
Baby.
Gladys still got it, baby. She still got it.
She's just bad. Okay.
Bad to the bone.
So who's our tenor section?
Tenor section, Tank all day.
I'm even gonna say that. He's so church.
Joe.
Oh, he's so good. Why is he so slept on? That boy can sing.
I want to fight him every time he opens his mouth.
Everything is sharp and crispy, and the placement is just smoother. Exactly.
He gets on my nerves. He really gets on my nerves because I'm like, why are you like this?
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you who I put in there. That new baby that just won this American Idol.
He good, right?
Sick.
Is he gonna do gospel music?
Huh?
Is he gonna do gospel music or are you gonna do R&B?
I don't know, because I really don't follow American Idol, but everybody was going up about it while we were at the session. So I'm just like, okay, let me check and see who he is. And I turned it on. I'm like,
boy can sing.
He's really good.
Mm-hmm. And so we have one more
tenor. I need somebody churchy in there, so I will put KC Haley from Jodeci. He's my favorite. I freaking love him.
KC.
I freaking love him.
Do you know what I wish? I wish that the Haley brothers would come back and do an album, like KC.
Like the Quartet brothers.
The Quartet. You remember that? I think because then they do "Come Along, My Friends, Come Along." That song.
They well, that was the Canton Spirituals. They may have done a version of it, but
okay.
They Little Cedric.
Yes.
He had a couple of albums, and it was him and his brother and the DeGreats.
Okay.
I believe Dalvin and them were a part of that, if I'm not mistaken. Because they all came
out.
I know that's how Jodeci started, but I think that the Haley singers were like that. It was, of course, him and his brother, but they had some other things, and I think his dad was involved in that too. I'm real close to the family. I've heard these stories a million times, but when you ask somebody something, it's like, wait a minute, I don't know. But they all church.
I would love to see him do some more gospel because I feel like his voice is just made for that.
Mm-hmm.
Made for that. And so I'm going to wrap this up for you. Real quick, if your life was a movie, what would be the name of
it? If my life was a movie,
come on, pretty lady.
What would be the name of it? I Did It for Love.
That sounds really juicy, though. Sounds really good. Come on, Lifetime. Tyler Perry, where you at?
If they ask you why I did it, you tell them I did it for love.
Okay. I hear my dog.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sugar, get out the window.
And I don't know why I didn't put R. Kelly in that mix, because he is absolutely, undeniably the king of R&B, and nobody can touch his pen. Period.
Nobody.
Say what you will, argue with your mammy. You are not gonna see R. Kelly with that pen. No. You might think you can now sing him. You might talk about whatever you want to talk about, but when it comes down to that pen and that paper, comes down to those lyrics.
And you can sing still.
R. Kelly is the king.
The brother can sing. Sang. I know that's right. Listen, I really enjoyed this conversation, Lillian. This was like exactly what I expected. It's exactly what I needed. I feel like I have been encouraged. I feel like I've been lifted up. I also feel like I learned so much about you. And I felt like I was able to really connect. And I thank you for allowing your voice, your talent, your time with me. I hope this is not the last time I get to talk to you. I hope this is the beginning of a great relationship. I hope that y'all who are watching was able to really feel who she is, and go ahead and add her on all her social media. Where can people find you?
On Instagram mostly, and that's I am Lillian Lloyd, Lillian Lloyd. On Instagram is Lillian J. Lloyd. On Facebook, I am on there mainly. I've got Threads and Twitter and all that stuff, but I'm never on there. I don't even know my name on TikTok. I think it's @LibQueen on TikTok. I'm never on there because TikTok is a very weird space for me. I'll go on there once in a while. Like if somebody sends me a TikTok video and I'll go look at it and like, oh, okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Instagram.
Instagram's your place because that's what we see
Yeah.
at. That's what we get to know you.
Absolutely.
So I thank you for this.
Thank
I
you
hope
for
y'all
having me.
enjoyed, and God bless you. And make sure you add me on all social media. Make sure you subscribe. Put it in your reminders because we be out every Wednesday. We're gonna be doing this show. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. And have a good night, everybody. It's gonna be so much fun. Bye.
Bye.